I ain't gonna be on here for too long, but I feel some type of way, and I'm want to vent about it, because I feel like I'm not being heard. I feel like my my cases are being ignored. And one of the things that when I got into this fight, that was one of my main concerns. You understand? The main reason why this is even something is because I couldn't get no help from the previous administration with the federal Department of Justice. The Department of Justice is very important. And if the Department of Justice is corrupt, then it really doesn't really matter about what's going on out here, because they are the ones that are supposed to correct this. That's why even with the attorney generals that's around in these cities, they're jokes. But the Department of Justice stands for United States Department of Justice. It enforces federal laws, civil and criminal, representing the U.S. government in court. It's overseeing federal law enforcement agencies like the FBI, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, and Bureau of Prisons. It investigates corruption, civil rights violations, organized crime, fraud, terrorism, and more, protecting citizens' constitutional rights. The head of the DOJ is the Attorney General of the United States. It was Merrick Garland when Biden was in office, Biden and Kamala Harris. And today it is Pamela Bondi, or Pam Bondi. An attorney general is the head of the U.S. Department of Justice and a top law enforcement officer in the country. What the attorney general does is leads the DOJ and oversees all federal prosecutors and law enforcement agencies like the FBI, DEA, ATF, U.S. Marshals, advises the president and the executive branch on legal matters, represents the U.S. government in major legal cases, sometimes directly, but usually through the Solicitor General, enforces federal law, and sets priorities on issues like civil rights, corruption, terrorism, organized crime, supervises U.S. attorneys, the federal prosecutors in each of the 94 judicial districts. At the state level, which is Kwame Raoul, who we can't never find, at the state level, each state also has its own attorney general, who is the state's chief legal officer, enforcing state laws, representing the state in court, and protecting residents from fraud and abuse. The U.S. Attorney Generals for federal national level, for the federal and national level, and state's attorney is states of law and issues. So I have written Department of Justice probably over 1,000 times between October of 2023 until currently. My mother has written Department of Justice since 2017. We have written Kwame Raoul millions of times. Me and Miss Jessica pulled up to Kwame Raoul's office and still could not get heard. So at this point, I need, like, I have 4 cases full of evidence, full of fraud. I've got video evidence to back it up. I've got a voicemail to back it up. I've got paper evidence to back it up. I have everything to back up all of the fraud. My main issue, I got 2. My censorship that someone needs to look into, because the person who is the the judge that's over that case, he's with the establishment. You understand what I'm saying? Like, he's going with whatever the establishment is saying. You know, he doesn't care about the law at all. So you've got that. And his name is let's see, Judge Kennelly. Okay. Judge Kennelly recently, in all the other cases, he's recently dismissed all CTU related cases. As he's the judge, he settles. He goes with them. So anything with the Chicago Teachers Union, he sides with them for some reason. So if you have anything with CTU, Judge Kennelly is not going to side with you at all. Also, he also has my freedom of speech. His name is Matthew F. Kennelly. Judge Matthew Kennelly. He is 68 years old. He's born October 6, 1956. He's a senior United States District Judge of the United States District Court of Northern District of Illinois. He was appointed by Bill Clinton, and he's from Marion, Indiana. He graduated from University of Notre Dame BA, Bachelor's of Arts, and Harvard University. He served in a private practice in Chicago, Illinois from 1981 to 1982. He served as a law clerk for Judge Prentice Marshall of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois from 1982 to 1984. He re-entered private practice in 1984 and served in the capacity until his appointment to the federal bench in 1999. On January 26, 1999, Bill Clinton nominated Kennelly to be judge on the United States District of the Northern District, Illinois, to seat vacated by Paul Edward Plunkett. He was confirmed by the United States Senate on April 15, 1999, and received his commission on April 22, 1999. He assumed senior status on October 7, 2021. He gained widespread attention when he presided over the ACLU versus AT&T 2006, a lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union of Illinois on behalf of Arthur Studs Terkel and other activists who said their constitutional rights were violated because of the NASA program of gathering phone company records. The court is persuaded that requiring AT&T to confirm or deny whether it has disclosed large quantities of telephone records to the federal government could give adversaries of this country valuable insight into the government's intelligence activities. Kennelly ruled that Terkel and the other plaintiffs in the lawsuit did not show that their particular records were seen by the government, therefore they had no standings in suing the government. Now, I have all of the evidence to show that the city of Chicago has suppressed my First Amendment. I have all the video evidence of me being arrested, of me being banned, of everything. Okay, and we tried to put a Second amended complaint in because we were adding someone else to the case who also has been violated down there because we all started together, and now they have this. Now he has it over there lingering and hasn't made a decision on it because he is part of the establishment, of course, because anybody that's not a part of the establishment would see all the crime. I mean, see all the well, it's crime too, but see all of the evidence and crime in these in that in that case, and you will rule on it, but you haven't. Then I got my other case over there where the city of Chicago that unlawfully demolished my family's building. Okay. Went and the Bradley Wilson, who's still the judge, who's still the attorney on it. That's how corrupt and bad this thing is. He's been the attorney on it since it's been appealed, since it's been thrown out, then came back. It has all of this fraud, including fraud that he did because he didn't do his due diligence, and they lied and said that they didn't know who owned. They didn't know who owned the property. The whole time they didn't know who owned the property because they were sending letters to the trust from Chicago, from the city of Chicago Law Department. So of course you knew that. So to sit here and say that that's not true, that's insane. Then we have what was I going to say? Then we have that case that we're waiting for the judge to say something to make a ruling on, which is Judge, let's get him. Judge Edward. All right. So then, that case that I'm waiting for them to make a ruling on, Judge Franklin Useless Valorama is a United States District Judge of the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois. He was appointed by Donald Trump. He is from Panama City, Panama, and his education is University of Illinois at Chicago and DePaul University. He earned his Bachelor of Arts from the University of Illinois at Chicago in 1985 and a Juris Doctor from the DePaul University College of Law in 1998. Valorama began his career in 1988 as a staff attorney for the United States Bankruptcy Court for Northern Illinois, where he worked for a year in 1989. He joined the law office of Tom Leigh, where he was an associate. In 1992, he joined the Chicago office of Landu, Omaha, and Kopeka, where he was an associate starting in 1993. He then worked at Sanchez, Daniels, and Hoffman in Chicago, where his practice focused on trial litigation. He left the firm as a partner when he became a judge. He also served as an adjunct professor at UIC John Marshall Law School, where he taught pretrial civil litigation. State Judicial Service. From 2007 to 2020, Valorama served as an associate judge of the Cook County Circuit Court. His state court service terminated when he became a federal district judge. On February 5th, 2020, President Donald Trump announced his intent to nominate Valorama to serve as United States District Judge of the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois as part of a bipartisan package of nominees, which included David W. Dugan. On February 12, 2020, his nomination was sent to the Senate. President Trump nominated Valorama to the seat vacated by Judge Ruben Castillo, who retired on September 27, 2019. A hearing on his nomination before the Senate Judiciary Committee was held on June 24, 2020. On July 30, 2020, his nomination was reported out of committee by 16-6 vote. On September 17th, the United States confirmed his nomination by 68-26 vote, with a majority of the Republicans opposed and all Democrats in favor. He received his judicial commission on September 23, 2020, and he was sworn in September 28, 2020. Now, he has this case with all this fraud that is opened back up, but then just reading this, that his nomination by 68-26 vote, where a majority of the Republicans opposed and all Democrats in favor, and we still got that sitting over there. All right. So then, after that, we're dealing with another judge who has my mother's case when it comes to her suing CHA. CHA and HUD, but definitely CHA, in 2023 for them taking away her voucher and everything she has because she's fighting the system so they can settle her original case of us knocking our family's building down. So that judge is Judge, let's see, I think that's Judge Jeffrey Cummings. Judge Jeffrey Cummings. All right. Jeffrey Irving Cummings is an American lawyer from Illinois who served as United States District Judge of the United States District Court for the Northern District of Illinois since 2023. He previously served as a United States Magistrate Judge of the same court from 2019 to 2023. He was appointed by Joe Biden. In office February 1st, 2019 to October 10th, 2023. He's from Fort Wayne, Indiana. His education is Michigan State University, Northwestern University. He received his Bachelor of Arts with high honors from Michigan State University in 1984. He then received his Juris Doctor from Northwestern University Pritzker School of Law, cum laude, in 1987, and was inducted into the Order of the Coast. Cummings served as a law clerk for Judge Ann Claire Williams of the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois from 1987 to 1989. From 1989 to 2019, he was an associate and co-managing partner of Minor, Barnhill, and Gowan in Chicago, Illinois. Cummings served as counsel to Barack Obama from 1996 to a Senate election in 2004. Cummings was sworn in a magistrate judge on January 29, 2019. He assumed office February 1st, 2019. Cummings is a former board member of Chicago Lawyers Committee of Civil Rights under law. In 1995, Cummings, alongside Barack Obama, represented ACORN, a voter registration organization that advocates for low and moderate income families in suing the state of Illinois and seeking to have to comply with the National Voter Registration Act of 1993. In 2009, Cummings secured a $630,000 settlement for a class of black workers with Area Erectors, Inc., who alleged termination based on race. As a magistrate judge in 2020, Cummings ruled that Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker would not be required to sit for a deposition as part of a discrimination case against his 2018 campaign. In 2021, Cummings ordered the pretrial release of Jim Bob Elliott, a member of the group the Proud Boys, who was arrested for his participation of the January 6th United States Capitol attack. In December 2021, Cummings was recommended to the president by Illinois Senators Dick Durbin and Tammy Duckworth. On January 18, 2023, President Joe Biden announced his intent to nominate Cummings to serve as a United States District Judge of the United States District Court of the Northern District of Illinois. Later that day, his nomination was confirmed, and he received judicial commission on October 10th, 2023. So he has the HUD case, the HUD and the CHA case. Then we have Judge Jorge Alonso, who has the previous case that he's got sitting over there making the decision if he's going to let my sorry ass attorneys from the first thing put rule on their amended complaint because it's done correctly, but they forgot to put it in the day that it was supposed to. So Bradley Wilson, who was over that, who's a lawyer in that case, who's a lawyer in the Valorama case, and my First Amendment case, is opposing all of the lawsuits. If that is not a conflict of interest, if that isn't the most corrupt thing on earth, then I don't know what else to say or do. So I want to make this very clear. Not only did they knock down my family's building and have yet compensated for it, there is a a government-run grocery store being ran on the other part of my land, a Save-A-Lot, that is also my godfathers, and they will not. And we can't even move on that because we're still waiting on these people to settle, to make a decision. We have four judges, all different judges, 3 being appointed by 3 Democratic presidents, 1 being be appointed by 1 Republican president, even though that one right there, the Republicans opposed him even getting that seat. So this is starting to make a lot of sense. At the end of the day, I don't care if it's a Republican, a Democrat. The fact is the fact that we have all of the evidence to show all of the RICO that's going on in all of these cases. That's what we're dealing with, RICO. We're dealing with RICO. RICO is the problem. So, yes. So, yes. So, yes. So that is my problem. I built and put Chicago Fist Red together because we needed help from the federal level and state level and the city level, because it's literally clicks in politics. It's who you know, and it's basically no one cares about public service. No one cares about that U.S. Constitution. No one cares about the state constitution. No one, everybody that are in these positions are unqualified. They're getting paid off. They don't care about justice. And like Ms. Jessica said, you're not going to be able to get anywhere if you don't get rid of these judges, because these judges are the ones that are not making the decisions that they need to make. And I get frustrated because I feel like I'm being ignored. I feel like I'm not, I'm being ignored. And I have everything documented. And when people talk about me saying stuff about freedom of speech or speaking out about Charlie Kirk being killed because him minding his business and speaking for what he believes is right, I'm being silenced myself, and I'm being punished. And I'm being punished to the point it's affecting my livelihood. Okay, they won't settle my cases. They know what they did is wrong. I'm currently unhoused. I currently do not have the things that I need for stability while still trying to maintain my mental health and maintain me being a public servant and helping others when I can. But honestly, I need to really focus on myself. So when you guys reach out to Chicago Fist Red, we have other members in our group, and we've added. Shout out to Nicole for coming back, and we have other people that can probably help you in what you're trying to do. But as far as right now, I have to fight with getting the Department of Justice here to fight this corruption. And the same people that I've asked to come down to show solidarity, to come down these committee meetings with us, to come down to City Hall, y'all do not do it. Y'all don't do it. So if y'all want to meet with me, if y'all want to tell me what's going on, what y'all are dealing with, I advise y'all to find me at 121 North LaSalle Street. When the days that I say that I will be down there, when I'm down there. Until then, until I can get the Department of Justice to look into my cases or these 4 judges do the right thing and follow the law and follow and understand the oath that they took and settle these cases, I really don't have nothing else to say. I'm not taking no more interviews. I'm not taking anything. I'll do my stuff on my page, but until then, I really have nothing else to say because at this point, it's getting to the point it's getting irritated. I'm getting pissed off. So that's just what it is. People think it's a game, and I'm not. I ain't the one. So let's see what we got over here. So yeah. So yeah. I just want you guys to keep the faith, because I'm gonna keep the faith, but I'm also going to call out the BS when I want to call out the BS. I really hope that Pamela Bondi is going to be a good department. I mean, a good attorney general, but as I see, um, we're dealing with a lot of BS. So all hands on deck.